Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing
Basketball. Here's our hosts, Steve Collins. And Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome.
New intro.
Not really.
Carried out the
I'm changing it up a little bit. I went from 4 welcomes to 3 welcomes to a long welcome. Never know. What is it? What's the expression? Variety is the spice of life.
Spice of life. That's right.
It is. I think that was a grandma thing. She used to say that to me. A lot of those sayings. Some of them you can't say anymore, but some are okay. Some expressions.
I can't remember the saying I said, but I was with my kids coaching and they said they were like, "What? What did you?" They had no clue.
Well, first of all, they don't know expressions, and second of all, it's like you just got to be really careful with. Yeah.
And it was old. It was one of those. It was an old expression. I know that. Like you never heard that before.
No. Anyway. No. I won't even say any of them because I don't want to offend anyone.
Exactly. So what are we talking about today, Coach?
We are talking about what do you do when you're getting blown out?
Yeah.
Hopefully this never happens to anybody. But my guess is if you're listening to this, maybe it has happened to you recently. But before we do that, we like to shout out our free clinic, which we're excited about.
Yeah, we're pretty excited.
Got my suitcase packed, baby. Suitcase is
waiting. I just don't know where. I don't know if I should dress for warm weather or cold weather. That's up to you, coaches. Go to coachingyouthhoops.com/clinic. We're coming to you in the fall. We want to do a 3 hour. That's right. Coaches clinic for you and your volunteers.
If we're flying halfway around across the country,
it'll probably be longer. As long as you'll have us, we'll stay as long as you need us.
If we're
flying halfway around the country, I don't care.
3 is the minimum, but my guess is longer than that. But anyway,
we'll do on-court demonstrations, whatever you need to level up.
I'm not flying to Taiwan. Sorry, Coach, I'm not flying to Taiwan for 3 hours. So sorry.
There we go. We'll stay a little bit longer than that, right? Yeah.
Never know. Sorry. Yeah, but go give them the URL. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
It's coachingyouthhoops.com/clinic for all the details.
All right. So we are talking about, we have all faced this. We have all looked in the mirror on this one. What do you do? I think I did the last one first. What do you do on this case?
Yeah, what do I do in a blowout? So my first message that usually goes out is let's control what we can control, right? You know, they're obviously the better team today. So what are some signs of success that we can at least pull away from this game, right? You know, is there something that we need to improve upon that we can do right now, even if it's one little thing? And so, then we quickly talk about that in a timeout, or I tell them, hey, this is what we're going to focus on. Let's just nail this one thing today and see if we can get a little bit better. See if we can improve on this particular skill, right? Something that's going to show progress and success. So at the end of the game, when we're all huddled up, we can say, okay, not our day today, but we executed on X really well. You guys came together as a team. You did it. We worked hard, etc.
Right.
So
I like that. I'll tell you mine because I've had to do this, hopefully not a lot recently, thank goodness. But before we do that, I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Game Changer. We love Game Changer. Brings
so when you are getting blown out, you can review the film on Game Changer, right? And see where you need to improve as a team. As you know, we always say film don't lie. So go to gc.com/coaching youth hoops for all the
listening
details
to right now. So I have found, I don't know if this is right either. The easiest way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time.
Yeah, definitely say that as well, right?
Yeah. Yep. So I try to make micro games where you look at the scoreboard. I'll do this whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that my alarm? Oh, that is my alarm. Sorry about that. I don't know why it's set for the time it's set for. Anyway, I set micro games inside the game. So let's say we're down 25.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, let's try to cut it to 15 by this point. Let's try to cut it down to 5 by this point. So I try to do that first of all when things aren't going well. That's the first thing. The second thing is let's try to get 2 stops in a row. So I try to do micro. I want to give them successes in a game that everyone in the gym knows is not a success.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get Sam 3 touches before we shoot, or we're gonna get the ball on. We're gonna drive to the basket. I got to give them some successes, so the next time I pull them over and we're down 22, we're down 34. Hey, we got 3 drops. Let's try to get 4 stops next time, or whatever it is. I think you got to give those you got to play a game within a game is what I'm telling. That's what I have found to be successful when things aren't going well. And whatever that is for your youth team, whatever that is that game within a game can keep them focused, keep them engaged, because they know they're not going to win. They know they're down 30 in the fourth quarter. They know they're not going to win, but they maybe know they can get it below 20, or they can get it below 26 something, or we can get 2 scores in a row, or they can do something where you can come back and have a success. That's what I have found to be successful.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I like the idea of a game within the game and, work. And do you have those things set? Meaning, okay,
I don't. I've done it in my back
pocket.
I mean, I do in my back pocket because I've coached 800 games and I kind of know what I've got to do.
Yeah.
And I tend to use that though. And I tend to use the when I think we still got a shot at it, we're down 15 in the fourth. Okay. By the 4-minute mark, we're going to get this to 7 guys or gals. We're going to get this to 7. And then when we do, then it's like, okay, come here. We got 7. Now we got to get it to 2 by the 1-minute mark. I mean, right. I tend to use that one more when it's, you're down 30 in the fourth quarter, you ain't going to win it. So it's like, okay, well, let's try to just get it in the 20s and get 2 state. Yeah, whatever. So I've done it long enough. I can kind of read the situation at that point.
I usually give the speech of, how do you eat an elephant 1 bite at a time at halftime, right? Where it's like, okay, we're down maybe 15, 20, whatever it might be. There's still a chance.
Still a chance there is. I've seen it happen.
Yeah. And then, like you said, though, if it's still 15, 20 and 5 minutes left, I may actually call a timeout and say, okay, this is how we're going to finish the game. And we're going to look at, X for success, right? Whatever X might be, depending on what we need.
Oh,
right.
So, I like that. Yeah. I like that. All right. Anything else, Coach?
Coaches, go to coachingyouthhoops.com/clinic. And you'll get tips like this and many more at the in-person 3-hour clinic. But you got to sign up. If you don't sign up, we can't come to you. coachingyouthhoops.com/clinic.
All right. Till next week.
Till next week.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.